Hey y'all, welcome back to our 1 year reading Bible challenge. And we picking up January 15th. It's January 15th. We finished with the book of Genesis. So we're doing Exodus chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 4, verse 31. King James Version. Won't be reading from here. We only following the guide in the back of the Bible on what to read. If you want to follow along, we reading from the ERV, the easy to read version in the Bible app. So, our recap from the 14th, we read Genesis chapter 46 through chapter 50. So what happened in Genesis 46? So after Joseph let his brothers know who he is, he goes send his brothers back to the land of Canaan to go get their dad, the rest of the family, kids, everything they own, so that they can so that they can relocate to Egypt. Joseph and Pharaoh sent the brothers with wagons and everything, equip them for um the move basically. So after they tell their dad, like, look, we about to move to Egypt, Joseph done sent for us to move there, pack up, time to roll. God reassures Jacob, which is Israel, tell him like, yeah, gonna make that move, I'm gonna be with you, you cool, you gon' do it. So chapter 46 lets us know everybody who went to Egypt in Jacob's family. It ended up being like 70 of them in all. And that's, well, not including the wives of the brothers, but it ended up being Jacob, which is Israel, all his sons, his grandsons, um, they wives, they sheep, everything that they own, they end up leaving, and the family end up totaling up to roughly about 7 people. In Genesis 47, Pharaoh end up giving the brothers a job to look after his cattle since they are already shepherds. On top of that, he ended up giving them the best land in Egypt, which is the land of Goshen. Um, Also, the famine ended up getting worse. The famine ended up getting worse in Egypt, so people had to keep going to Egypt to get food or whatever. They sold all that they spent all the money that they had to buy food. um like we said, it's a 7 year famine, and Joseph had everything stored up. He was in control of the food that comes in and goes out. But these people were buying this food, but they used all their money to buy the food, to the point to where they started giving their animals, like, look, take some cattle, some sheep, some goat, our animals, this all we got left. We ain't got no more money. We'll trade that for some more food. We just trying to feed us and our kids so we won't die. After they give away all the money that they had, all the animals they had, they were left with nothing but themselves and land. So they end up selling themselves over to be slaves for Pharaoh, on top of giving the land that they own, family inheritance land in Egypt, end up giving it to Pharaoh. That's all they had to feed their babies. So it's like, look, we'll just be slaves and work for Pharaoh at this point. We just trying to feed our babies so none of us don't die. So that's how um Pharaoh end up inheriting all these slaves and whatnot and all this land. Pharaoh owned all the land in Egypt except the land that belonged to the priest, basically. After that, Jacob, which is Israel, end up having Joseph make a promise to him, like, my time almost up here. It's almost about that time for him to die. So he like, look, promise me that you will not bury me here in Egypt. I want to be buried where my family is, in a family field, where Abraham and Sarah, where Isaac and Rebecca, where his wife Leah is buried, oh, in Machpelah. He like, bury me where everybody at, in the family field. After that, he ended up blessing um Manasseh and Ephraim, which is Joseph's two sons. He ended up giving them their blessing before he dies. Also, he ended up blessing his sons, everybody according to what they deserved, based on how they lived. Is how Israel, or Jacob, whatever you want to call him, blessed his sons. After that, he ended up dying. Jacob ended up dying. The last chapter, they have a funeral for Jacob. They had a time of grieving. The Egyptians prepared his body in a way that the Egyptians do. Joseph let Pharaoh know, like, look, I promised my daddy I was not gonna bury him here. He want to be buried in a family, you know, in a family field. Pharaoh said, go handle your business, do what you gotta do. Um, so they end up having a funeral service, put Jacob away like a boss. Um, then the brothers were afraid. They thought that, okay, this is a time of grieving. Daddy gone now. Jacob gonna end up taking his anger out on us for what we did to him years ago. So they like, look, Joseph, before Daddy died, he said, forgive us, make peace with us. You know, Joseph like, look, I ain't even on that time, and I'm gonna take care of y'all kids. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. After that, before Joseph ended up passing, he like, look, it's almost time for me to check up out of here too. He told his brothers, um, y'all cool, y'all good, carry my bones out of Egypt when you leave up out of here. When God lead y'all out of here into the land that he promised us and our ancestors, y'all make sure y'all don't leave my bones here in Egypt. Carry me right on out of here with y'all. The brothers agreed. Joseph ended up living until he was 110 years old, and then he ended up dying. And that's the recap on the book of Genesis. Now we in Exodus. Let's read these 4 chapters in Exodus. Exodus chapter 1. And it reads, I wish this phone stopped jumping like that. Okay, Exodus chapter 1. When Jacob, which is Israel, went to Egypt, his sons and their families went with him. Um, Here are the names of those sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Isaac, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Another son, Joseph, was already in Egypt, so Jacob's whole family was with him in Egypt, 70 descendants in all. Later, Joseph, his brothers, and all the people of that generation died. But the Israelites had many children, and their number grew until the country of Egypt was filled. So basically, all of Jacob, and all his sons, all 12 of his sons, everybody ended up dying, but their descendants were left, meaning their kids, their grandkids, and whoever, they started growing in Egypt. But the generals, they died. Um, where we at? The new king began to rule Egypt. He did not know Joseph. This king said to his people, look at the Israelites. There are too many of them, and they are stronger than we are. We must make plans to stop them from growing stronger. If there is a war, they might join our enemies, defeat us, and escape from the land. The Egyptians decided to make life hard for the Israelites, so they put slave masters I'm sorry. So they put slave masters over the people. These masters forced the Israelites to build the cities of Python and Ramesses. Um, for the king. The king used these cities to store grain and other things. Pause. So basically, what happened is, Joseph was favored by the old Pharaoh. Y'all know Pharaoh means the king of Egypt. We don't know their name. We just know them as Pharaoh, as their title, basically. So Joseph was favored by the old Pharaoh. So he ended up being governor, and he ended up taking in all his folks, basically, moving them to Egypt. Now, fast forward, Joseph gone. Joseph dead. Joseph brothers dead. Joseph daddy dead. There's a new Pharaoh. There's a new king in Egypt. He don't know the old program. He don't know nothing about that. He's new, so he just making a he just redoing some stuff. So all the Israelites, mind you, Jacob's name is Israel. So the Israelites are descendants from Jacob and his sons. So those are the Israelites. Um this new Pharaoh, he don't know old programming. He don't know nothing about that. All he know is these Israelites, which are these Hebrew people. They are many. It's a lot of them. They might outnumber us and go to war with us. So let's turn them into our slaves, basically, and he making them work extremely hard. Verse 12, the Egyptians forced the Israelites to work harder and harder, but the harder they worked, the more they grew and spread, and the more the Egyptians became afraid of them. So the Egyptians made them work even harder. They made life hard for the Israelites. They forced the Israelites to work hard and make bricks. Uh-oh. And make bricks and mortar and to work hard in the fields. The Egyptians showed no mercy in all the work they had made the Israelites do. So this Pharaoh just being low down. This Pharaoh, all the Egyptians, they just being low down to the Israelites. They constantly growing. They trying to make them work hard so that they can like tap out, basically, because there's so many of them growing in number. But shoot, the harder they work, the more they having sex and producing, I guess. Verse 15, there were two Hebrew nurses who helped the Israelite women give birth. They were named Shiphrah and Puah. The king of Egypt said to the nurses, "You'll continue to help the Hebrew women give birth to their children. If a girl baby is born, let that baby live. But if the baby is a boy, you must kill him." So now this Pharaoh is trying to kill off all the Egyptian baby boys, basically. Verse 17, but the nurses trusted God, so they did not obey the king's command. They let all the baby boys live. I know that's right. Verse 18, the king of Egypt called for the nurses and asked them, "Why did you do this? Why did you let the baby boys live?" The nurses said to the king, "The Hebrew women are much stronger than the Egyptian women. They give birth to their babies before we can go to help them." The nurses trusted God, so he was good to them and allowed them to have their own families. The Hebrews continued to have more children and they became very strong. So Pharaoh gave this command to his own people. If the Hebrew women give birth to a baby girl, let it live. But if they have a boy, you must throw it into the Nile River. Pause. So basically Pharaoh done went to the nurses like, "Look, you nurses who help these Israelite women have babies, let me tell y'all something." He gave a command, gave an order. If it's a little girl cool, but if it's a boy, kill that baby boy. These nurses like, "We ain't doing it like that. We ain't doing it like that." So when Pharaoh find out like it's still baby boys in the land, they ain't listen to what I told them to do. He go to the nurses like, "Why you ain't listening?" The nurses like, "Look, these Israelite women are strong. We ain't too much got to help them give birth. They can give birth to their own babies. So where does that lead us to kill a baby if she done sat here and birthed it on her own?" But whole time they believing in God, they trusting in God, so they not finna kill no baby. So now Pharaoh done went to his own people, like, forget the nurses, because clearly the nurses is on these Israelite women's sides. Let me tell y'all something, Egyptians. If y'all see a little boy, throw him in the Nile River, drown him, basically, but let the girls live. Very interesting. Um, where are we? Chapter 2 in Exodus. There was a man from the family of Levi who decided to marry a woman from the tribe of Levi. She became pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy. The mother saw how beautiful the baby was and hid him for 3 months. She hid him for as long as she could. After 3 months, she made a basket and covered it with tar so that it'd float. Then she put the baby in the basket and put the basket in a river in the tall grass. I'm sorry. Um the baby's sister stayed and watched to see what would happen to the baby. Just then, Pharaoh's daughter went to the river to bathe. She saw the basket in the tall grass. Her servant, her servants were walking beside the river, so she told one of them to go get the basket. The king's daughter opened the basket and saw a baby boy. The baby was crying and she felt sorry for him. Then she noticed that it was one of the Hebrew babies. The baby's sister was still hiding. She stood and asked the king's daughter, "Do you want me to go find a Hebrew woman who can nurse the baby and help you care for it?" The king's daughter said, "Yes, please." So the girl went and brought the baby's mother. Pause. So what just happened here? Basically, after Pharaoh done put in this command to have all these baby boys killed, this mama, there was a man from the family of Levi. Yeah, this mama who come from the tribe of Levi, she said, "Now my baby, you won't kill my doggone baby." So she sit and hid her baby for as long as she could, and once she couldn't hide her baby no more, she just put him in a basket and let him float on the river. Now, Pharaoh's daughter, the king's daughter, is outside bathing, and she peeped this little baby in the river, and she feels sorry for the baby because the baby crying. But the sister of the baby that's floating in the river, excuse me, she's watching from a distance. She watching her brother from a distance. She peeped the king daughter going to get the baby out the basket. So she go up to her like, "Hey, you good? You want me to find somebody who can help, nurse, breastfeed this baby, take care of this baby?" And the king daughter like, "Please go and find somebody." So the little girl, she go and get the mama who belonged to this baby in the first place. um chapter I mean sorry Verse 9 in chapter 2. The king's daughter said to the mother, "Take this baby and feed him for me. I pay you to take care of him." So the woman took her baby and cared for him. The baby grew, and after some time, the woman gave the baby to the king's daughter. The king's daughter accepted the baby as her own son. She named him Moses because she had, I'm sorry, phone jumping, she named him Moses because she had pulled him from the water. Okay, so um the mama done nursed this baby clean up until he get of age. Now the Pharaoh daughter done took the baby in as her own child. So Moses grows up in Pharaoh's household. So the Israelites are slaves, but Moses grow up as basically in a king palace. He didn't grow up like his people. Verse 11, Moses grew and became a man. He saw that his own people, the Hebrews, were forced to work very hard. One day he saw an Egyptian man beating a Hebrew man. Moses looked around and saw that no one was watching, so he killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. Pause. So Moses growing up as an Egyptian, but he know he's a Hebrew, which is from the tribe of Israel. He know he's an Israelite. So he see how so it's like he got two people. He got the people that he raised up with, and he got his biological people, basically. So he know that he's a Hebrew Israelite, but he growed up with the Egyptians. So he's seeing how bad the Egyptians are treating his people, his biological people, how they making them slaves, making them work hard, all this type of stuff, beating them, treating them bad. So one day, um, Moses done came across a Egyptian, the people that he grew up around. He see this Egyptian beating on one of his, you know, people from his tribe, one of his biological people. Moses looked around, made sure wasn't nobody looking, and he killed that Egyptian. He took up for his people and he buried the Egyptian in the sand. Straight like that. Where I'm at. Okay, verse 13. The next day Moses saw two Hebrew men fighting. Now, this two of his own people fighting. He saw that one man was wrong and said to him, why you hurting your neighbor? You know what's so crazy? Oh, Jesus, let me just finish. The man answered, did anyone say you could be a ruler or judge and a judge? Be our ruler and our judge. Tell me, will you kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday? Then Moses was afraid. He thought to himself, not everybody knows what I did. Pharaoh heard about what Moses did, so he decided to kill him. But uh, Moses ran away from Pharaoh and went to the land of Midian. Pause. So, this is so funny because this reminds me of slavery, how our people had masters who, mistreated us, all this type of stuff, and instead of us sticking together to help one another out of that jam, it's like they conditioned us or conditioned our ancestors to turn against each other instead of linking with each other to turn against them, basically. So first Moses see the Egyptian, the master, beating his people, which is a slave, and he killed the master and buried him. The next day he see two of his people fighting, and he like, what y'all fighting for? Like, y'all supposed to be with each other. They turn on him like, who is you to tell us what to do? You gonna kill me too, like you did the Egyptian yesterday? Now Moses see, when he killed the man, he looked around, see, ain't nobody see nothing. Clearly they seen them. So now word done got back around to Pharaoh, which is the man he really um came up as the grandson of Pharaoh, because Pharaoh's daughter took Moses in as her own. So now practically his like foster grandfather is trying to kill him. So Moses done ran. He done flee. Like, look, let me get up out of here. Um Moses stopped near a well in Midian. Verse 16, there was a priest there who had 7 daughters. These girls came to the well to get water for their father's sheep. They were trying to fill the water trough with water. But there were some shepherds there who chased the girls away and would not let them get water. So Moses helped the girls and gave water to their animals. Then they went back to their father Ruel. He asked them, why have you come home so early? The girls answered, the shepherds chased us away, but the Egyptian rescued us. He got water for us and gave it to our animals. So Ruel said to his daughters, where is this man? Why did you leave him? Go invite him to eat with us. Moses was happy to stay with that man. Ruel let Moses marry his daughter Zipporah. Zipporah became pregnant and had a son. Moses named him Gershom because Moses was a stranger in a land that was not his own. So after Pharaoh done got news that Moses done killed this Egyptian. Now Pharaoh trying to kill him. Moses flees to a land called Midian. He bumps into it's a priest that stay there, and the priest got 7 daughters. He end up bumping into the daughters at the well because he defends them, from the shepherds that chased them away. So he basically tell them shepherds, y'all get back, let them girls get some water. So they get some water and they go back home, tell their daddy, like, this man done defended us. Basically, he just rolled for us. And he like, look, invite that man in. So him and Moses get cool, and he let Moses marry one of his daughters, Zipporah. Zipporah gets pregnant by Moses. They have a baby, Gershom. Um, that's what had happened there. Um, Verse 23, a long time passed, and that king of Egypt died, but the Israelites were still forced to work very hard. They cried for help, and God heard them. God heard their painful cries and remembered the agreement that he had with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God saw the troubles of the Israelites, and he knew that he would soon help them. So now, this king of Egypt, Pharaoh, done died. It's a wrap. But the Israelites are still working hard like slaves, and they crying out to God, Lord, please help us. Please come through for us. God hears them, and he's getting ready to send help. For one, he know the agreement that he had with their ancestors, which is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, about how he was going to bring them out and get them a land that was not their own, that was already inhabited by the Amorites, Perizzites, Jebusites, Edomites, So God is remembering the agreement. Now he's putting things in place to free these Israelites, basically. Um, Chapter 3 in Exodus, Moses' father-in-law named Jethro, which is his wife Zipporah daddy, who invited them in. Jethro was a priest of Midian. Moses took care of Jethro's sheep. One day Moses led the sheep to the west side of the desert. He went to a mountain called Horeb, the mountain of God. On that mountain, Moses saw the angel of the Lord in a burning bush. Moses saw a bush that was burning without being destroyed, so he decided to go closer to the bush and see how a bush could be continue burning without being burnt up. The Lord saw Moses was coming to look at the bush, so he called to him from the bush. He said, Moses, Moses. Moses said, yes, Lord. Then God said, don't come any closer. Take off your sandals. You are standing on holy ground. I'm the God of your ancestors. I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Moses covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord said, I have seen the troubles my people have suffered in Egypt, and I have heard their cries when the Egyptians hurt them. I know about their pain. Now I go down and save my people from the Egyptians. I take them from their land and lead them to a good land where they can be free from these troubles. It is a land filled with many good things. Many different people live in that land. The Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Huphites, and Jebusites. I've heard the cries of the Israelites, and I have seen the way the Egyptians have made their life hard for them. So now I'm sending you to Pharaoh. Go, lead my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. So God, like, look, oh, won't God send help, my Lord? So God, like, look, Moses, I know the agreement I made with my people, and I see my special people being treated like dogs. I got a plan to set my people free, but I'm going to execute this plan through you. So God is having a meeting with Moses, and he letting them know what the plan is, basically. And he like, look, you the man for the assignment. Get going now. Get my people about their jam. Verse 11, but Moses said to God, I'm not a great man. How can I be the one to go to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of Egypt? God said, you can do it because I'll be with you. This will be proof that I'm sending you. After you lead the people out of Egypt, you'll come and worship me on this mountain. Then Moses said to God, but if I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your ancestors sent me, then the people ask, what is his name? What should I tell them? Then God said to Moses, tell them I am who I am. Straight like that. When you go to the Israelites, tell them I am sent me to you. And God said, tell the Israelites that you were sent by Yahweh. The God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. This will always be my name. This is how I want the people to remember me from now on. Pause real quick, because I want to acknowledge how Moses, God found Moses to be worthy. Moses done stay here and clean smack killed somebody and fled, and now he's encountering God, and God is giving him this assignment, and Moses is telling God, like, look, I ain't no good man. I done sit here and murk somebody. I know I done sit here and murk somebody, and I done ran off. That's how I'm here before you now. I supposed to be in Egypt. Done ran away from that place because I ain't want to die because of what I did. God, like, look, never mind all that. Go and do what I told you to do now. I know what you done did. Verse 16. Now go and call together the elders of the people. Tell them that Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to you. Give them this message from me. I've been watching over you and have seen what people in Egypt have done to you. And I have decided that I will take you away from the troubles you are suffering in Egypt. I'll lead you to the land that now belongs to others, the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. I'll lead you to a land filled with many good things. So he like, look, get them this message for me now. I've been seeing y'all, I've been watching y'all, and I done made the decision. Now it's time. And he told him, gather all the elders. The elders is the older people in the Israelite tribe. So them elders, they know who their ancestors are. The elders might be, shoot, the grandchildren, or these might just be the grandchildren and the great grandchildren of the brothers, Jacob 12 sons. These might be them at this point. So verse 18, the elders will listen to you because they know that Jacob, they great granddaddy, or they granddaddy. They know that Joseph now and his brothers is probably their granddaddy. They know, so they gonna listen to you. They know they was around during the time when I done led, you know, Joseph had rank with Pharaoh and brung he like they was around during that time, so they about gonna listen to you. Verse 18, the elders will listen to you, and then you and the elders will go to the Pharaoh. You will tell him, Yahweh is the God of the Hebrews. He came to us and told us to travel 3 days into the desert. There we must offer sacrifices to Yahweh, our God. But I know that the Pharaoh will not let you go. Only a great power will force him to let you go. So I use my great power against Egypt. I cause amazing things to happen in that land. After I do this, he'll let you go. And I caused the Egyptians to be kind to the Israelites. They'll give many gifts to your people when they leave Egypt. Um, Pause. So God is putting Moses up on game. He like, look, this ain't gonna be no easy fight. I'm telling you what's about to happen before it happened, but I'm causing this to happen. We gonna get there. Let me not get ahead of myself. Verse 22, all the Hebrew women asked their Egyptian neighbors and the Egyptian women living in their houses for gifts, and those Egyptian women will give them gifts of silver, gold, and fine clothing. Then you'll put those gifts on your children. And this way, you will take away the wealth of the Egyptians. Can you say that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous? Hallelujah. So, God is basically like, I'm finna cause a shift. So we know the Egyptians are known for mistreating the Israelites. But God, like, now I'm gonna call the Egyptian women to be kind to the Israelite women, and they gonna start giving them gifts and stuff, and y'all gonna start giving them to y'all children. Like, that's what's about to go down. Chapter 4 in Exodus, and it's our last chapter for today. Then Moses said to God, but the Israelites will not believe me when I tell them that you sent me. They'll say, the Lord did not appear to you. But the Lord said to Moses, what is it that you have in your hand? Moses answered, it's my walking stick. Then God said, throw your walking stick on the ground. So Moses threw his walking stick on the ground, and it became a snake. Moses ran from it. I would have ran from it too, Moses. But the Lord said to him, reach out and grab the snake by its tail. My bad. But the Lord said to him, reach out and grab the snake by its tail. When Moses reached out and caught the snake's tail, the snake became a walking stick. Then God said, use your stick in this way, and the people will believe that you saw the Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Pause. So Moses is doubting. God is showing him, like, I'm Lord all powerful. I know everything. I know everything. I can do it, all things. You ain't talking about none, Moses. Basically, he trying to get Moses, just do what I told you to do now. Um, Moses like, but this can go wrong. But I'm not a good man. But this can go wrong. They can do this. They ain't gonna believe me. XYZ. God are not even acknowledging what Moses talking about. He like, look, let me just show you something real quick. Let me show you what kind of power I'm working with. Yeah, what I just helped you do there, you gonna go back to them, and I'm gonna be with you. You gonna do the same thing in front of them people. They gonna believe. They gonna see it with their own eyes. Verse 6, then the Lord said to Moses, I give you another proof. Put your hand under your robe. So Moses opened his robe and put his hand inside. Then he brought his hand out of the robe, and it was changed. His hand was covered with spots that were white like snow. Then God said, now put your hand into your robe again. So Moses put his hand into his robe again. Then he brought his hand out, and his hand was changed. Now his hand was good again as it was before. Then God said, if the people don't believe you when you use when you use your walking stick, then they'll believe you when you show them this sign. If they still refuse to believe you after you show them both of these signs, then take some of the water from the Nile River, pour the water on the ground. As soon as it touches the ground, it'll become blood. Then Moses said to the Lord, but Lord, I'm telling you, I'm not a good speaker. Moses, you got more excuses than a little bit. I've never been able to speak well, and that hasn't changed since you started talking to me. I'm still not a good speaker. You know that I speak slowly and don't use the best words. So Moses, like, look, I probably stutter a little bit. I, you want me to go and talk to people, Lord? I don't know how to. I don't talk to people. I don't do that. That's not my strength. Verse 11. Then the Lord said to him, who made a person's mouth? And who can make someone deaf or not able to speak? Who can make a person blind? Who can make a person able to see? I'm the one. I'm the Lord. He like, do you know who you talking to? So go. I will be with you when you speak. I'll give you the words to say. But Moses said, my Lord, I beg you to send someone else, not me. Moses like, look, I ain't the man for the job. He like, Lord, you thinking too highly of me. Verse 14, then the Lord became angry with Moses and said, I give you someone to help you. Aaron, the Levite, is your brother, isn't he? He is a good speaker. In fact, Aaron is already coming to meet you, and he'll be happy to see you. I'll tell you what to say, then you'll tell Aaron, and I'll help him say it well. I'll tell both of you what to do. So Aaron will speak for you. Like God, you will speak to him, and he'll tell the people what you say. So go and carry your walk. Go on now. Carry your walking stick, which you use it in the other miracles to show the people that I'm with you. Like, look, this meeting is over with. I done said what I said. I done told you what to do. You want to sit here and make every excuse in the book. Look, you wasting time. We got to get my people up out of there. So, here go to compromise. We'll just use Aaron. I make you like me, like God, basically. And Aaron will be the mediator. So the programming is God, and sometimes He will use us to mediate and get the message across to His people. But Moses ain't following the program, so God like, look, I'm just gonna talk directly to you. You gonna tell Aaron what I said, and Aaron gonna deliver it to the people, basically. So we ain't going through no third party at this point. It's fourth party because Moses just wanted. Verse 18, then Moses went back to Jethro, his father-in-law. Moses said to him, please let me go back to Egypt. I want to see if my people are still alive. Jethro said to Moses, go in peace. So Jethro about know what's going on. Jethro is a priest. A priest is a mediator of God, literally. So yeah, Moses like, okay, I'm on this assignment. I gotta go and get going. Jethro, let me roll. Let me go on back to Egypt now. Uh, Jethro like, go, have at it. Verse 19, then while Moses was still in Midian, the Lord said to him, it is safe for you to go back to Egypt now. The men who wanted to kill you are not dead. They did a sweep, wiped them out. You ain't got that obstacle no more. So Moses put his wife and children on a donkey and returned to Egypt. He carried his walking stick with him, the walking stick with the power of God. I know that's right. While Moses was traveling back to Egypt, the Lord spoke to him. When you talk to Pharaoh, remember to show him all the miracles that I've given you the power to do. But I caused Pharaoh to be very stubborn. He would not let the people go. Then you should say to Pharaoh, this is what the Lord says. Israel is my firstborn son, and I'm telling you to let my son go and worship me. If you refuse to let Israel go, then I kill your firstborn son. Straight like that. So, God is reminding Moses while he on this trip to Egypt. He like, I'm reminding you, do everything I told you to do, just like I told you to do it. But Pharaoh is gonna be stubborn. I'm causing him to be stubborn because he already got a little bit of that up in him. So might as well take him all the way in that direction. And I'm doing this to show my great power, to flex my muscles. That's what time and that is. Ooh, the phone done did a number on me. Hold on, y'all. We finna get back right. And we closing up on yeah, so God like that's the plan. Come on, phone there. Okay, so where we okay, closing out. Um so yeah, he like, look, tell Pharaoh this, do what I said. I ain't gonna play about these Israelites. They're my people, and if you don't let my people go, yours gonna die. Straight like that. Verse 24, in chapter 4, on the way to Egypt, Moses stopped at a place to spend a night. The Lord met Moses at that place and tried to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint knife and circumcised her son. She took the skin and touched his feet. Then she said to Moses, you are a bridegroom of blood to me. Zipporah said this because she had to circumcise her son, so God let Moses live. So, y'all remember the agreement that God made with Abraham when he said, like, look, Abraham, you need to be circumcised, your son need to be circumcised, everybody in your land, all your descendants, they need to be circumcised or they be cut off from your people. So yeah, God been obviously been nudging Moses to circumcise his son, and he probably been holding it off at this point. But for Zipporah to go on and circumcise, the Bible does not go into detail about this, but for Zipporah to know to circumcise her son, get this knife and circumcise her son, and that way she saves Moses' life. Um, she had them been getting an unction or a tugging on her, and then she the daughter of a priest, like she probably have a relationship with God. She like, look, let me go and circumcise my boy so my husband can live. um Verse 27, the Lord had spoken to Aaron and told him, go out in the desert and meet Moses. um so Aaron went and met Moses at the mountain of God. He saw Moses and kissed him. Moses told Aaron everything the Lord had commanded him to say and all the miracles he must do to prove that God had sent them. Now, mind you, Moses and Aaron are brothers. Moses want to make all these excuses, so Aaron is finna be second to Moses, basically finna be his right hand man in this whole leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Verse 29, so Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the Israelites, all the older OGs of the Israelites. Then Aaron spoke to them spoke to the people and told them everything the Lord had told Moses. Then Moses did the miracles for all the people to see, and they believed what they had heard. Then the Israelites understood that the Lord had seen their troubles and had come to help them. So they bowed down and worshiped God. Amen. So, yeah, he done went and got all the OGs. Aaron like, look, this the plan. This was about to happen. God done heard y'all. He see y'all. It's time to get up out this jam. Um, they ain't really, mind you, they are slaves. They probably scared, got the fear of Pharaoh up in them. They don't know what to believe. But Moses doing all these miracles. He dropping this walking stick down. It's turning into a snake. He grabbing the snake. It's back a walking stick. Then he's sitting here showing him, look, my hand is leopard. Putting it in its, well, it's normal. Putting them in its robe, pulling it back out. Look, now it's leopard. Put it back in its robe. Look, now it's back normal. Don't believe that? Say less. Let me go get some water. You see it's water? Pour it on the ground. Now it's blood. So now these people is starting to, okay, I'm following you, Moses. Uh, Definitely the Lord's work. He's working through you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. You hear us. You sent help. We're getting out this jam. So now the elders, they know what's going on. And that's our study for today. Exodus 1 through 4. We still playing catch up because this is January 15th. So I'm trying to get to a point to where I can find time during the day to where I can drop about 2-3 studies so I can get going, so we can get on track, because our goal is to read this entire Bible by the end of the year. We're not trying to still have scriptures and books and verses left and we going into 2027. No, we're reading this book in 2026. I decree and declare that one. So yeah, that's our study on today. I love y'all. Goodbye.